Hey, I'm Rav, and today on the Six File, we're answering the question, where is Nintendo going? The last 30 days have been very busy for Nintendo. They released an updated handheld, announced a new partnership, and hinted at a new console. Let's start with the new 3DS, which is the fourth iteration of Nintendo's 3D handheld gaming system. It was announced in August 2014 and made its debut in Japan in October. 4 months later, it made its way into North America and Europe. Initially, it launched in two formats, standard and XL size. However, it was only released in the XL variant for the North American market, which leaves Nintendo with the standard size format in case they need another version to help stimulate sales. The new 3DS sports a few upgrades from the last version. It has a built-in C-stick on the right-hand side of the unit, which works similarly to the Circle Pad Pro add-on released in 2011. They added 2 more buttons to the system's shoulders. Improved 3D by adding a sensor above the upper screen that tracks the user's head position that actively adjusts the stereoscopic effect, resulting in a wider field of view. On board is a built-in NFC reader for the new Amiibo platform, which is a big component of Nintendo's strategy. Memory and processing both receive bumps in specs to create a faster user experience. Expandable storage is now handled via microSD, which can now be found in the back of the system after removing the rear panel. Missing, however, is an AC adapter, which was left out on purpose so Nintendo could reduce the SRP, which is a practice they've been doing for quite some time in the Japanese market. However, the system can use the AC adapter from the old 3DS or even the DSi. Overall, this is likely the best Nintendo handheld to date, but for me, it makes me wonder, why does it even exist? It's no secret the replacement for the highly successful DS has struggled. Almost immediately after the launch of the original 3DS, Nintendo was forced to cut the price from $249.99 to $169.99 because the original price was too high to get DS customers to upgrade. 2 years later, Nintendo launched a stripped-down version of the system called the 2DS, which departed radically from the original form factor and dropped the 3D functionality, as most consumers were wavering on it because some were complaining of headaches, and quite frankly, the function was underutilized. Then they released the 3DS XL. However, that too failed to increase market share. Throughout all these variations of the 3D handheld, there's been one underlying cause which Nintendo has failed to address over and over again: lack of third-party support. And it's not how much support Nintendo is receiving, it's how much they're supporting them. Many will say Nintendo created this problem on purpose so they can push their own titles. However, that doesn't make business sense and goes against what Nintendo president Satoru Iwata stated at the original 3DS announcement, that the key to make the 3DS successful was with the help of third-party developers. But over the last 4 years, in comparison to the DS's, third-party titles have been down 70%. But to be fair, first-party has been down 31%. And the reason for this decline? Third-party developers are flocking to mobile operating systems. And why wouldn't they? It's cheaper to develop for, they're able to generate ongoing revenue from in-game purchases, and has an install base of almost 2 billion with iOS and Android combined. For example, released as a digital-only title on the 3DS store in the summer of 2013, Capcom's Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Dual Destinies has sold approximately 380,000 units worldwide to date, but the version released on the iOS App Store back in August 2014 has been downloaded over 500,000 times. So this leads us to the recent announcement of Nintendo's new partnership with Japanese mobile giant DeNA that would allow Nintendo to supply their games and IPs to smartphones. Nintendo has stated that these games won't simply be ports of existing titles, rather they would be new games. So how does this help Nintendo's business? Well, it helped the company's stock price, which rose 31.32% the day of the announcement, which is the highest their shares have traded for in over 4 years. So does this mean Nintendo is backing out of the hardware business? Not quite. Last year, over half of Nintendo's top-line revenue came from hardware sales, despite a very rough year for the Wii U and 3DS, and a strong software lineup. For Nintendo to regain their position as the market leader, they need to repair its fledgling hardware business. And at the same time they announced their partnership with DeNA, Nintendo also dropped a hint of the future of their hardware business, codenamed NX. While I don't believe they're ready to supplant the Wii U or 3DS just yet, it does show that Nintendo is still fully aware they are a hardware company. Hopefully, Nintendo will learn from their mistakes and will correct the course for the NX. But the new 3DS has me worried about this future platform. If they want the NX to succeed, it has to be easier for third-party developers to generate sales via in-game purchases, which is a core strategy for most game developers. More importantly, it needs to be accessible to indie developers. The current process to become an approved Nintendo developer is tedious and completely ridiculous, and gives no incentive to reward the risk of time and money spent on creating games. Nintendo makes the App Store and Google Play appear to have an open-door policy, so it's no wonder they've become a haven for indie developers. So where is Nintendo going exactly? Into unfamiliar territory. If Nintendo doesn't nail their first DeNA release, and fails to wow consumers with the NX in the coming months, we may be witnessing Nintendo's story come to an end, which is vaguely similar to their old rival. Thank you all very much for watching. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you want more from the Six File, please hit the subscribe button. Like me on Facebook, follow me on Twitter, both links are down in the description, and feel free to tell your friends, or heck, even your enemies. Thanks again.